Now I copied scenes from Godfather, I copied lines from Godfather, I copied character traits from Godfather. People don't understand the technicality. It's not the cameras. At least my interviews are super hits. Come say 1 out of 2 I am bad.
Interviews तो आपके super hits हैं, इसमें कोई doubt नहीं है. Seriously.
Yeah.
Well, I recently received an email stating that Gopal Varma's interviews on Bollywood Hungama are super hits, and we really are waiting for a super hit movie from Gopal Varma. So, is Bhoot Returns the answer to that? We'll find out. Huge pleasure to have you back on Bollywood Hungama.
At least my interviews are super hits. Come say 1 out of 2 I am bad.
Interviews तो आपके super hits हैं, इसमें कोई doubt नहीं है. Seriously.
Yeah.
Alright, Bhoot Returns. So, are you? The promo has created an impact. So, how confident are you of the movie?
I mean, see, this is a question which has been so often asked to me about confidence in a film. See, I honestly feel any filmmaker, after the initial idea, the excitement, sure, once he starts making, by the time he reaches the end, there's no way of knowing if it's come in the same direction and this and that. Yes, there'll be certain times I would feel some extraneous factors could have influenced me or the film or anything. But in my entire career, with the exception of Department, I made flops which are probably bigger than Department, like ARG. ARG was completely my responsibility,
right,
and everything. Okay. Now I am not getting into Department now. So my point is to answer your question about Bhoot Returns is confident. Now here there are two things. One is how is it as a film, and second is what will contribute to the so-called opening weekend. Now the fact that there are no songs or nothing, how exactly that created, I will be unaware of. The theatrical trailer or the poster or whatever people are expecting or not, or the brand of the name. As a film, I am really excited for two things. One is I've done a 3D film for the first time in my career.
Right.
And it's not that no one has not seen 3D before, but the point is, I feel the way I used it is definitely very unique, because especially the kind of framings in the genre of a scary film, you know. And then apart from 3D, I think the sound effects are really, really innovative in Bhoot Returns.
Right.
I mean, the whole film has been shot inside one house, but
right,
just the placing of everyday natural sounds which happen in a house to create a dramatic impact, there's a lot of work done on that.
Now, many people have this question. You know, many people would say that they are your well-wishers as well. They would like to know that what about the camera angles which came in for heavy criticism as far as Department is concerned. So far from the promos, it seems like you have taken a different point of view as far as presenting your characters and the general perception is concerned. So something about the camera angles in Bhoot Returns?
The point is, as far as Department's camera work is concerned, the main flag, and because people don't understand the technicality, it's not the cameras. See, it's been shot with 2K resolution cameras of various formats, which have been heavily used in many films across the world, including Slumdog Millionaire is shot with 2K cameras. You know? It is the jerky camera movements and that very haphazard cutting style, which people thought was camera. There's nothing to do with the cameras. If the camera, you keep it static, it will shoot static. If you move it, it will shoot it moving, or if you move it rapidly, swish panning, it will do that. Any camera will do the same. So they can't understand the difference between the cameras and how they were used. Obviously, those cameras are not made for Department. It's made for many other purposes in many other films, you know. Now, that shooting style adapted, which I coined a rogue methodology, for a certain way I looked at the film and the characters, how it was progressing. Right. When the picture doesn't work, because I highlighted the technique, they criticize the technique. Whereas in world history, I don't believe any film didn't work because of the technique used. For example, I am saying I don't know of a single film where technique has been criticized for a film. It will be criticized for content. It will be criticized as boring. It will be criticized something else. But only because I highlighted it, people pounced on it. Whereas in a Bhoot Returns kind of film, where my whole idea is to create horror in the stillness, it's just like extremely lengthy shots will be there in Bhoot Returns. I'm just trying to simulate almost as if the audience are inside the house, standing in one corner and watching the proceedings.
Right.
So I use very few cuts. I almost use no movements, but that is a requirement of Bhoot Returns. It's not because of anything else.
Yeah. You had multiple cameras in this one as well.
Yeah.
How many cameras in maximum?
I used around 5 cameras.
5 cameras.
Yeah.
And all of them like they are the DSLR cameras?
All of them are static. They're not DSLR, they're digital.
Digital cameras.
Yeah.
You come in for a bit of a criticism for the poster. Apparently, that poster is similar to some Maharashtra ad for social welfare for, I think, police or something. So, is it a valid criticism? Have you taken it from?
To start with, honestly, I never saw that Maharashtra poster before, and this idea was by Lalji completely. It is there because when I said the 3D element has to somewhere reflect, and the fact that the kid has to look something unique about a cute, innocent looking child. Now, they came up with it. I really loved it, and I think it's one of the best posters I've seen. Now, as far as whether that was taken from because even that had some 2 eyes, 4 eyes, whatever it is, whether they were inspired by that, they'll be the best people to answer. But me as an outsider, that kind of a similarity in today's time, the sheer amount of creativity which comes out.
Coming to inspiration part of it, you've known to for making original films, and that has been your hallmark. When you see a film like Barfi, it is India's entry to the Oscars, and it is widely known now that there have been blatant scenes have been lifted from many Hollywood films, or Korean, Japanese, and all sorts of assorted films. In fact, how do you react to it that such a film as this has been?
To start with, I haven't seen Barfi, so I don't want to comment specifically on that. But if you ask me a question, an allegation of a certain filmmaker or a film taking scenes from other films, I think in today's time it's a fallacy even to get seriously into that kind of a matter, because eventually at the end of the day, everything anybody does is coming from some source. It could be a film, it could be a novel, it could be something someone said, it could be something someone read or whatever.
Blatant scenes have
No,
been.
that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't want to comment on Barfi because I don't know what exactly in relation to what scene, what you're talking about. But I am saying, see, for example, when I made Sarkar, I put it in the opening cards. This is my tribute to Godfather. So, now, I copied scenes from Godfather, I copied lines from Godfather, I copied character traits from Godfather, probably that I did it including if the shot is inspired or copied from Paranormal Activity, even in Bhoot Returns, you know. So, my point is, whether somebody consciously did or it just made an impact on him and he just did it without realizing that he's doing it, which happens, or whether he intended and not to take the credit away. So, that is a job of the maker, what he or he cannot say, he should not or he did not want to say, you know.
Even the music parts are copied.
Yeah, no, whatever.
Inspiration sort of, they have been.
No, that's what I'm saying. See, I
right?
feel it is very difficult in today's times, I feel, to get to the intent and do that, you know. So, not seeing the film, I don't want to comment on it. Even assuming that a maker has done it and whatever, I would also like to understand the intent.
Coming back to Bhoot Returns, you're coming back. Manisha Koirala is making a comeback of sorts with the film as well, and the kid I think is looking very good. Alanya Sharma, in fact, I think she's looking very good. But Mr. Varma, there is one more question that somewhere promotions में वो मजा नहीं आ रहा. You know, the theatrical trailer when it came out, it had the impact. मतलब कोई भी उसको देखता है वो कहता है यार डर लगता है इसको देखकर. And if you're making people afraid of, if that element of fear is coming in, it's a very good news for any horror film whatsoever. लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं promotions में शायद उतनी चीज़ सामने सच नहीं आ पा रही है. Do you agree with that? I
don't know. See, with that, see, first of all, there is a very limited thing to, I can't promote 3D.
Right.
I can't promote, a horror film is not like it's a great emotional drama. It is more on sound, and it's more on moments being created inside the film. Pretty much the theatrical trailer and the variations of it which are coming on television now in as promos, more or less beyond that there is nothing, because there is no music, there is no item song, there is no this is not the kind of subject matter which you can just vary and do something in that, you know. So for what it stands for what its intent is, I believe the material is there. So even if you are telling me, I don't know what else to promote, what can be promoted.
Do you think from that perspective that maybe something I don't know, maybe you can have making videos of how you just maybe shot something, or maybe you want to do it after the release?
It's not even that. I really don't believe that. See, if you're assuming a Bhoot Returns promo somebody saw, like you said, the theatrical trailer, if then they make up the mind, I would like to see this film, I think the promotion is already made. That's my belief as far as this kind of cinema is concerned.